anybody tell the supplier component or supplier model? So how we can create a supplier? What is the procedure? What is the flow for supplier creation?
Go to procurement and click on supplier. I mean create supplier, right, sir?
Yes.
How to create?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, procurement and click on supplier
Mhm.
and give the supplier name and give the business relationship. It is spend authorized or prospective authorized based on requirement.
Okay.
And give the type also, is it corporation or another anything.
Yes.
And give
Go
the
ahead.
country and add the address
Mhm.
and enable the ordering and remit to address both are things.
Okay.
And after that go to the sites and add the site address also.
Mhm.
So until enough.
Nothing. That is fine. You don't want to assign any business units for your site?
Yeah, you can assign the business site also, I think.
You can assign is not one. It is very important.
Okay.
So until you created business, addresses and the same address you have used for the site creation, until that is fine. But later that you have to assign your business unit to asset. Site assignment process. There you have to assign your business unit to your supplier. Then only you can able to see your supplier for your business unit to create invoice. Okay, right.
I
So
think supplier manager, supplier administrator roles are also required to create the supplier.
yeah, but yeah, so that is fine. But what I'm asking, just model like what are the components we are going to create for a supplier?
The mainly supplier site and supplier address and we have to give site assignment.
Yeah, the flow, whatever Mahesh said, that is fine. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So first you have to create a supplier profile, supplier general information, then go to supplier address details. Using the supplier address details, we can create a supplier site. Okay, against the addresses, we can create contacts as well. At the address level, we can create contacts also. We can assign the contacts for the addresses. Okay, and after creating sites using the addresses, you have to assign the same site to your business unit. So then it will help you to create invoices for your business unit. Okay, yeah. Now, can anybody tell the type of suppliers? How many type of suppliers we have in AP model or in procurement?
Then prospective supplier and spent authorized.
Can you elaborate? Can you explain the difference between both?
Okay, prospective means the supplier will be up to only quotations only,
Mhm.
but the spent authorized will involve in the business transactions also. So
Okay.
Prospective is for source level only, I think. And
Mhm.
mm,
Prospective means we can't create any invoices. So spend authorization means we can create the invoices. If any documents, anything is pending is there, we can the invoice the vendor we create under the prospective.
And is there any option to update from prospective to spend authorized supplier? Can we do that? Anybody? So you said that a prospective supplier can be used for the source level or quotations, and you cannot create any invoices and payments to the prospective suppliers. So only spend authorized suppliers can do that invoices and payment process, right? So now tell me, if I want to do the invoices and payments for the prospective suppliers as well, can I do that? Is there any option to change that?
So only we can create the invoices only that spend authorization. Prospective is we can't create it.
Just ask that the feasibility. Do you have any feasibility to change that?
No, we don't have any option. But in supplier side, we have two types. One is we need to select that one rather than
Did you
spend
try
other.
again? Did you try it any time, like to create a prospective supplier? And is there any option to promote the prospective suppliers to spend authorized supplier? Yes, we do have option called promote to spend authorized. Like once you created a supplier with a prospective, if you want to convert it a prospective suppliers to spend authorized supplier, we have option there. You can select a promote to spend authorized, and you can provide the site and business unit access. Site will be created defaultly with the addresses. Okay, so the business unit also will be assigned. Okay, we have option. So just try it once. Create a prospective supplier. There you can see the top right corner, top level, you can see promote to spend authorized option. Just you can one click you can change the prospective supplier to spend authorized. And can anybody tell the invoice journal entry for invoice posting? What is the journal entry will be created once you create a invoice, AP invoice, and post it?
Item expense data to accounts payable.
Item?
Expense data to
Okay.
accounts payable data.
Okay. Now tell me what is item expenses account, from where it is capturing?
In lines item is the full capture.
It is capturing from transaction type level.
Transaction type.
Creating the transaction.
You went to AR model.
Okay.
So yeah, that is correct. At the distribution level, line distribution level, whatever the item expenses we have given, it will be considered for the item expense account. And the liability account, or nothing but account payable account. So from where it is capturing the liability account, we are not providing at invoice level. So as you said, line distribution you have given, but from liability account, from where it is capturing?
In invoice header, it will capture.
Invoice header. So even though I did not provided anything from invoice header, I just given invoice header level. I just given supplier details and invoice number, amount, those things only. But how it created that accounting, liability accounting details, how it is created and how it is captured?
So in invoice option level, manage invoice option level, we have to enable that in distribution line item. That's so this is automatically it will create defaultly creating when I'm create the invoices.
Anybody?
Invoice distribution level, it is captured.
So what are the default distributions and where you have given? What do you mean the default distributions and where you have provided it? Previous I have asked one question. What are the default distributions and where you have to provide it? You have given some list of default distributions. Okay, so we have default distributions at common options. Manage common options for payable and procurement level. There you will provide the liability account, that is default liability account. From there it will be captured to create a invoice, to create a journal entry for your invoice. Okay, understand?
Yes, yes.
Now tell me, if that is the case, so whatever the invoices I have created, whatever the invoices I am creating, so same liability will be created for all the supplier invoices. Liability account will be same. Okay, correct, right? So I just want to make a separate liability account for each supplier. Okay, so liability account, it is capturing from common options level. That is fine. Now I just want to change the liability account. I just want to use the different liability accounts. I don't want to change anything in invoice level. When I select the one supplier, let's say A, B, C, D, 4 suppliers we have, A, B, C, D. When I select A supplier, okay, the liability account should be different. When I selected B supplier, the liability account it should be different. And for C and D also, it should be different liability account should be captured. I just want to, I just want to maintain multiple liability accounts for tracing purpose. Can I do that? Do you have any option? So what is the procedure for that? Can anybody answer? This is very basic and this is very important question for any interview point. So when I was in the panel, I used to ask this question for every interview. Okay. Now tell me. So anybody? Okay. So let me explain that. So we have a option called like when you create a supplier. So I said I have multiple suppliers. Okay. I have multiple suppliers. For each supplier level, I want to use different liability accounts. When you say that, so when you create supplier, while assigning your business unit, click on create auto creation of your auto assignment of your business unit. There you can see liability, prepayment, and bills payable account distributions. If you remember, you can continue. Now only you can continue. So I have given clue. Okay. When you create a supplier, when you assign your business unit, there you can see a distributions like liability, prepayment, okay, bills payable. So whatever we have at the common options, the same thing you will see in supplier site level, site assignment. That means, so usually what happens when you create invoice, when you try to create invoice, the liability account will check, first will check, system will check for the supplier site level, whether you have given any distribution for the liability. If you don't given any liability account, then it will go and pick at common options. Common options level, it is mandatory. So you have to provide some liability account, payable account, that is common option. So it will go and pick from common options and create the journal entry. But when you are trying to create a multiple liability account, the different liability account you can give at supply site level. So in this case, when you create invoice, first it will verify at supply site level. If it found some, liability account, it will be preferred. First preference, always first preference is supplier site level. Whatever account you have given in the supply site level, it will be considered for the journal entry. Like that, you can create a multiple, you can use the multiple liability accounts for each supplier. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. Almost there. Can anybody tell the type of invoices in AP? Can anybody tell the type of invoices?
Standard invoice.
Okay.
Credit memo, debit memo.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
Interest invoice, prepayment invoice, withholding tax invoice,
Yeah.
and then expense invoice.
Okay.
Recurring invoice and the multi-period accounting invoice.
Mhm. So yeah. And now tell me, so invoice deletion, delete. When you can delete the invoice? What are the stages? I mean, where you can delete the invoice, where you cannot delete the invoice. How the cancellation will be occurred, when the cancellation will be occurred.
Before validation, we can delete the invoice.
Okay.
After validation, we cannot.
So after validation, what we can do?
We can cancel the invoice.
Okay. So before validation means, just it is saved. It is not validated.
Yes.
So can I do that? Is there any stages? Validation. After that, what will do that? The payment directly you can do that.
So after post only we can create the payment entry.
Is that correct? So I cannot create a payment without accounting a invoice, that you are saying.
Yes.
Anybody? So once, yeah, somebody unmuted. Okay. So invoice validation, after invoice validation, we can do the payment, but not accounted. Okay. Invoice can be created. Okay. Invoice can be validated. After validation, you can do the payment, but it cannot be accounted. And accounting concept like create accounting or posting ledger will be the month-end process or period-end process. So you can also do the accounting once invoice is validated, but that is not the supposed process. So in real time, we used to run the create accounting for all the invoices and all the payments. So make sure invoice should be validated, and then you can do the payments. Once everything is done, you can account it. Once reconciliation everything is done, then you can do the create accounting post to lecture activity. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much. I think we have, I have scheduled for 2 hours, but and we have plenty of questions more, many more, like 25 questions or more. So we'll see in the next session, Andy. Okay. So if you are participating, more like, then we can go bit faster. So if I want to explain everything, then the time will go for like the time will be very, very less. So we cannot maintain the time. So if you are able to answer the questions, the interview process will go very fast. So within 1 hour, you may cover many of questions. So for the next time, be prepared. Okay. So I will try to schedule one more interview, one more mock interview on the AP module only. Then we'll see. We have many questions. Okay. We'll clear that. Okay.
మహేష్,
Yeah.
ఇది సెషన్ రికార్డ్ అయిందా ఇది?
అవునండి.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్స్.
రైట్ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.